Look at the textbooks, the coding boot camps, and the corporate manifestos. They describe software development as a pristine, orderly science. You write clean code, follow your agile sprints, and deploy perfect products. Then you get an actual job. You're hit with impossible deadlines, clients changing minds every 48 hours, and legacy systems held together by digital duct tape. Try running a 2-week Scrum cycle or writing comprehensive documentation when the server is actively crashing and your investors want a new feature launched by tomorrow morning. Following these prescribed rules simply takes too long. When the pressure peaks, the formal rules go out the window, and a shadow methodology quietly takes over the project. The polished charts and daily stand-ups become pure theater. Surviving in the modern tech trenches requires a radically different, entirely undocumented approach to getting things done. It's called Extreme Go Horse, or XGH. Born in the chaotic, high-stakes IT departments of early 2000s Brazil, it started as an inside joke, a satirical list of rules for surviving corporate pressure cookers. But the joke proved too accurate. Today, whether you are inside a scrappy, underfunded startup or walking the halls of a massive Silicon Valley tech giant, you will find developers practicing XGH. The core philosophy is brutally simple. You prioritize raw, immediate delivery over everything else. No architecture planning, no code reviews, no long-term quality control, just raw speed. Managers might call this bad practice, but when an entire industry demands results delivered yesterday, XGH is the inevitable byproduct of that pressure. The methodology is governed by 22 specific axioms. Axiom 1 states that if you have to think about a solution, you aren't doing XGH. Axiom 2 clarifies there are 3 ways to solve a problem: the right way, the wrong way, and the XGH way, which is exactly like the wrong way, but faster. This flowchart shows the traditional pipeline versus the XGH shortcut. Instead of moving from design to testing to deployment, a massive red arrow bypasses everything straight to production. Axioms 19 and 20 dictate testing is a waste of time. If it compiles, ship it. And if it breaks, Axiom 4 provides the defense. XGH is entirely reactive. A bug literally does not exist until a client notices it and complains. This creates productive anarchy. Project managers become disposable. Nobody owns the codebase, and long-term planning is abandoned. By systematically stripping away the paralyzing fear of making a mistake, developers achieve a state of continuous deployment. Things get built. To truly understand how this works, you have to look at the Brazilian cultural concept that birthed it, gambiarra. Gambiarra translates roughly to a kludge or a makeshift fix. It is an improvised, provisional solution, born out of necessity and resource scarcity. When you lack the proper tools or time, you use whatever is in front of you to force the system to work. It rejects polished academic business models. In the real world, an ugly fix that works right now is often valued more than a theoretically perfect solution that takes 6 months to build. Extreme Go Horse is the digital manifestation of this survival instinct. Flawless software design is a luxury reserved for those who actually have time. Software development is currently shifting toward artificial intelligence. While tech leaders sell this as a leap toward perfect efficiency, they've inadvertently built a tool that has accelerated the Go Horse process. Generative AI solves the biggest bottleneck in the XGH pipeline, the time it takes to actually type out a solution. Now, a developer can practice vibe coding, asking a machine to hallucinate 3,000 lines of code in seconds without having to think or understand a single line of it. This fulfills Axiom 1's mandate to never think, while also satisfying Axiom 8. When the code breaks, the developer is blameless. They didn't write the buggy script, ChatGPT did. Traditionalists and academic engineers constantly write blogs begging developers to stop using Go Horse. They point to the accumulating technical debt and the messy codebases. But these theorists don't have to survive in the trenches, because the truth of XGH is that the critics are right. The codebase will eventually mutate into an unmaintainable monster. The project will catastrophically sink under its own weight. But that systemic collapse is a feature. The true XGH practitioner knows exactly what to do when the ship goes down. You update your resume, blame the legacy code, and move on to conquer the next chaotic project.